Welcome to the Departure Lounge. My name's John. This video is a difficult yet important one to make, and it's going to cover what to do immediately after someone has passed away here in the UK. The information is based on my experience as a funeral director and funeral celebrant, and I wanted to make it really because there's not many videos from the UK talking about funerals and all things death related, and so I wanted something that a UK audience could relate to, but obviously the information I'm going to give will be similar for most countries around the world. It's a very difficult time and emotions will be running extremely high. It's natural to panic in this kind of situation, and so knowing what to do could prove to be extremely useful and helpful. Please do hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel if you think the information here could be of benefit to you. But do hit the like button because the way YouTube works, that'll ensure that the video reaches as many people as possible. It puts it higher up in the search bar. So let's delve into the immediate actions that you should consider. Well, firstly, there's lots of ways in which someone can pass away. This is really concentrating on what we call expected deaths. So that's where someone's been poorly and they may have been receiving palliative, or sometimes called end-of-life care. And this could be in their own home, it could be in a friend or family member's house, or even in a care home. The first step that is going to need to be taken is that you're going to need to call either the GP or the district nurses that have been helping care for the person. So that could be Macmillan nurses, it could be Marie Curie, it really doesn't matter. You will know in that situation, you will know exactly who you should be ringing, because although this is something that we don't really want to think about, particularly when you're caring for someone who's terminally ill, it is kind of a topic that will come up. So it is important. The reason you need to call them is because they're going to have to do a very important and legal procedure, which is called verifying the death. Now, the verification process has to take place before anything else can happen. So you will need to wait until they have done this, and you may have to wait quite a while. The way the NHS and the UK is at the moment means that the average wait tends to be around about 3-4, I've known up to 6 hours. It kind of depends how busy they are and what they have on at the time. If you're really lucky, obviously your GP will be knocking on your door within an hour, and in an ideal world that's what we would all like to happen, but the reality is I've known people wait 6 hours. It's just one of those things. It does give you that all-important bit of time to kind of catch your breath, absorb what's happened. It gives time to say goodbye, to sit with your loved one, and obviously you're going to need to start calling friends and relatives who need to know, and they may want to come out and spend a bit of time with them as well. So that's perfectly fine. Once the verification process has taken place, the next step will be to call a funeral director. Now, if the person has a funeral plan, then that company will be named in the plan, and they are the people you need to call. If they don't have a funeral plan, then you kind of need to look at your local funeral directors and funeral homes and see which one is going to best be suited for yourselves. It does kind of help to plan in advance. Many people don't know, but some families do actually contact a funeral home and they'll say, look, we're looking after a relative, we kind of know what the outcome is, and we're just trying to get some more information. And that allows you to shop around. You do it in every other aspect of life, so it makes sense to do it in death. Many funeral directors will have different prices, and they'll also have offices in different locations, so it kind of depends what your priorities are. Some people like to think of their loved one as being nearer to them. Others, obviously, cost, it shouldn't be a factor, but it just is. So it's important, if you are able to do it, then ringing round before will be very helpful. Obviously, once you've rung the funeral director, they will respond within an hour. Now, people don't die during office hours. People tend to die at all different times of the day and night, and so funeral directors generally have a 24/7 hotline that you ring, and someone will be on call even in the middle of the night, and they will come out to your home or to the nursing home to bring your loved one into their care. When they arrive, they'll arrive in what's called a private ambulance. It'll either be a silver, black vehicle. It might not have private ambulance written on it. Sometimes they're unmarked. In fact, in many cases they are unmarked. And sometimes they may just have a very discreet sign indicating which funeral directors they've come from. If you have a driveway, it's advisable to clear any cars off the driveway so that they can have access, and it will give you that little bit of privacy as well whilst they're moving your loved one out of the house. If you don't have a driveway, then freeing up some space at the front of the house is advisable if you're able to, and that again will allows them to just give your loved one that little bit of privacy and dignity. When they come into the house, they're immediately going to want to assess the situation. Where is your loved one? Are they upstairs? Are they downstairs? Is there a stair lift? Are there obstacles like furniture in the way, or any tight corners or bends that they're going to have to navigate? Don't worry about this. All funeral homes are very experienced in this kind of procedure, and they'll know exactly what they need to do, but they'll just need to come and assess the situation first, and then they may advise family members to move into a different room. It's not because what they're doing is they're not going to do anything untoward, but the procedure that they're going to do, it's not very nice, and it's just advisable not to watch. So moving into another room, put the kettle on, open a bottle of something. Again, it gives you just that little bit of breathing space while they do their job. It's always advisable to remove jewellery, watches, earrings, particularly rings. If someone's been poorly, then they may have lost a lot of weight, and so you tend to find that wedding and engagement rings will generally fall off. So it's just advisable to remove them beforehand. If you don't want to do that, speak to the funeral director. They will do that for you and obviously give them straight to you. If you want to return them, put them back onto your loved one at a later date, that's not a problem. It's just for this process, it's always advisable to remove these items. Once they've done what they need to do, most funeral homes will actually make the bed. It's kind of a traditional thing that they do. But also, if there's anything that you want them to take with your loved one, so a cushion, a pillow, or a blanket. Sometimes people have these blankets where there's all family photos on it. That's all perfectly fine. In fact, most funeral directors are very used to this. There are lots of items that you might want to go, teddy bears, handbags, rosary beads, things like that. It's perfectly fine. They won't think it's strange or anything like that. It's quite normal, actually. And if it brings you a bit of peace of mind, a bit of comfort, then why not? Once they've done what they need to do, they will then advise you of what the next steps are. This is generally the registration process, and they'll guide you through that. And it's one of those situations where, because emotions are running high, they'll give you information and it'll generally go in one ear and come out of the other. So if that happens, don't worry, it's fine. They will of course be in touch and they'll remind you of what you need to do. Dealing with the immediate aftermath of a loved one's passing is unquestionably the most difficult situation that any of us will ever have to face. It's important to remember that having the support from family, friends and professionals is invaluable. I hope this video has been informative and useful. Please do hit the like button and help as many people as possible find this video when they may be faced with this challenging time. I hope that I've provided some support, and please do let me know in the comments what you think. Maybe you want to share your experiences, that's great, and I hope to see you in the next video.